Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with why not? Let's call him it, the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Every time I say that, you close your eyes like it's like you hearing it for the first time all over again. Do you really enjoy it?
Uh, were you a supporter of wrestling? Did you watch wrestling?
I did. I was. Were you a
Yeah,
WWE
excuse
fan
me.
or
Yes or no? Excuse me. Yes or no question. Thank you. Do you know Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
I do know, I don't know him personally, but I do know who he is. Yes.
who was a great champion until he supported Sleepy Joe Biden and Koala Bear Harris? Well, he used to do a thing when he would say, he would like pause and soak up the fan atmosphere while he was doing his own intro. So I think he stole it from me. So I'm doing very powerful uh, intro energy.
I just don't understand that. I understand The Rock soaking up energy from 25,000 or
Oh,
40,000
so okay,
screaming
so I get
fans.
75 million votes. I get 75 million votes, and you don't understand that energy. But The Rock performs in a place that's smaller than most of my rallies, by the way. And oh, you understand? Oh, The Rock, I understand The Rock. But sir, you have 75 million votes. I don't understand that.
No,
Yeah, well, good
I
luck.
don't
Good luck.
understand the
This is your last
votes.
show.
I understand the votes. I just don't understand when I announce you on the podcast, you act like there are millions of people screaming. How long can you hold that post for?
It's called positive thinking. It's called strong business, great Second Amendment, and positive thinking.
Okay. Now it's been a pretty big week in the news. We have some stories here, Mr. President, and I wanted to just get started right away. There we discussed someone in the news last week, and he's still in the news. Fellow Floridian, Matt Gaetz. You denied a meeting with him. Meanwhile, you talked so
Well, I
highly
don't
of
know
him
how I
last.
can. I don't know how I can meet with somebody I don't know. You say, if somebody showed up to your home right now and you didn't know them and said, "Can I come in, sir?" They wouldn't call you sir, but if they said, "Can I come in?" and would you just say, "Oh, come on in for a meeting. I have no idea who you are.
But Kim
Welcome to my
Kardashian
home."
did that. You didn't know who she was, and she came for a meeting.
No, I do know who Kim Kardashian is, and I'd seen her strong videos as well.
But you know who this guy is. He is in government from Florida. You have a lot of dealings with business in Florida. I'm sure you've crossed
I'm of
paths with
course
him
I have
before.
Mar-a-Lago in Florida. I have a great real estate. I don't know Mitch Gates though. I don't. You keep talking about
It's
somebody.
Matt Gates. We spoke
See,
about him.
I don't even get the name right. Who is this person? Who
You
is Mike Gates?
you spoke highly of him
As
last
opposed to
week.
Mike Gay, who we all know who that is. He's big and he's gay and he's Mike and he's Pence.
We're gonna get to Mike Pence later, but we talked about him last week for a good 10 minutes or so. You seem to know a lot about him, and now this week you have amnesia, it seems. You just don't know who he is.
I have a great memory. Amnesia is actually a very talented dancer at a Tampa club that I've been to.
Okay. But why can't you just be honest with me, Mr. President? You know you spoke about him last week. We have it on tape. Tape doesn't lie. So we can play the whole tape back. Were you lying to me on tape, pretending you knew who he was and you're really just faking the funk? Or are you lying to me right now? I'm confused.
I don't know who. I don't even know. I already forgot who we're talking about because I don't know this person.
So let's say this man had a meeting with you because he
which
You
you
called
already said he did not have a meeting with me.
right, but you called him like I think the
So you
Sir
want me to
Jeffrey.
talk about somebody I don't know who didn't have a meeting with me? Okay,
I,
this
I
is good.
I
Good
think you
start to
called
the show, tech stuff.
I think you called him like the Sir Jeffrey Epstein in training or something like that because
There is only one. So you know what? This is we're about to end this episode very quickly. There is only one Sir Jeffrey Epstein, and obviously, if you were familiar with the show before the agency sent you, you would know that that's not somebody you disrespect. Not
I'm not
here, not
disrespecting him at
ever.
all. I said sir. I would just said Jeffrey Epstein if I was disrespecting him.
No, you're suggesting that the man's uh, suicidal body, because he definitely was not murdered by at the behest of Bill Barr. You're suggesting that the suicide body, which is not yet cold, even though he is warm in the embrace of the Lord in heaven,
Okay.
uh, you're suggesting there's already a new Jeff Epstein, and
I'm not
and
suggesting that. I said in training. In training. He would fly underage girls across the country. You seem to be fond of this
okay, so
man,
okay, just because you're telling me he does cool stuff like that doesn't mean I'm gonna all of a sudden know who the guy is.
but wouldn't you want to hang out with someone like that? You just called him cool.
No, I said you're telling me cool stuff. Like, you could make up all sorts of things. It's very impressive and interesting, but no, I still don't know who Martin Gates is. We
It's
don't
it's
know him.
Matt it's Matt Gates. I
Well, I don't know a Matt Gates or a Martin Gates.
but there were so many episodes that you didn't know who Sir Jeffrey Epstein was, and now he has a sir in front of his name when he was an acquaintance who you took pictures with, and then he evolved into your BFFAE,
AE,
best friend forever and ever.
you're fired.
It's not fair, Mr. President. I want to talk about Matt Gates, and you just keep denying who this person is. It's very frustrating.
Okay, so a Florida guy who I don't know wanted to have a meeting with me. He does cool stuff like fly underage girls around. Don't know him. I'm not sure what else I can talk about at this point.
Okay. We'll go on to the next topic. Mar-a-Lago, one of your favorite places on earth. You are the president of Mar-a-Lago right now. There's a new
I'm
member.
actually I'm actually almost a dictator of Mar-a-Lago, to be honest.
Well, first of all, you were. Do you know that you're a big fan of golf? The Masters was played recently this past weekend.
And I actually spoke to my friend Shinzo Abe about it.
I was going to ask you if you spoke to him because a Japanese golfer won.
It was a beautiful thing to see because, as you know, under Sleepy Joe Biden's administration, tremendous violence against our great Asians and Asian Americans. It is so sad to see what is happening in Joe Biden's America to our great Asian people. We love. They are hardworking. They contribute. They're talented. They're very smart. Very smart people. Some might say even the smartest. And they're doing incredible things. And under Sleepy Joe, it's like open season on them, and it's a disgrace. So I thought seeing this Japanese guy, Hiroshima Matsui, I think was his name.
I don't think that was
See,
his name, but
well, we'll call him Godzilla, who's having a great week, by the way. He's winning Masters, which we love that, the Masters. They're not going to cancel the Masters. Um, and Godzilla, you had a big movie also. So it's a great week for Japan. So no, I got a call from Shinzo, who was very proud, and he should be. He should be proud.
what was your conversation like?
Oh no, I said Shinzo, congratulations on Hibachi um, Montessori winning.
Matsuyama is his name.
Isn't that the Jewish rapper?
No, that's Modest Yahoo.
Well, Yahoo.com.
And what happened with Shinzo?
Well, I said Mattis Yahoo.com won and was so proud of him. That's a great tribute to your country and a great statement for Asian people in our country. And he was, Shinzo is he's a tough, smart guy, but tough. And I could see he was a little extra proud because he said, "Golf is a sport that we have worked very hard on." And then I said, "Did you just say hard on?" And we both laughed. But he was very proud, and he should be very proud because, um, you know, we we've we need our Asian neighbors, our Asian friends to feel welcome because they contribute. Unlike other people, unlike other immigrant groups, and I think you know the ones I'm talking about, Asians bring a lot of talent and a lot of wealth to our country. So we want to support them. Okay. And I think having Happy Birthday Mitsubishi win the Masters was a really beautiful moment for for the world, really, for the world. So
No, it's very impressive. Very impressive. You're a golfer. Did you watch it or you just saw the highlights?
no, I watched some of it. I watched some of it, and I was cheering on the white players, and I said, "Don't you let that." Patriotism has to come first. Until he won, So I was screaming at the TV, selling all stocks I owned in Asian companies. But then he won, and you have to respect the winner. And then I got the call from Shinzo, and I said, Uh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for your country to have a great winner. Like uh, hereditary mashed potatoes. He's a great champion.
Hereditary mashed potatoes. um, before we
But
had a commercial.
Let's not forget. Okay, let's get his name right. Happy birthday, Mitsubishi.
I know. Happy birthday, Mitsubishi is definitely better. Um, you have a new member of who joined Mar-a-Lago, a celebrity, probably someone who I'd say his name is recognizable as yours. It's up there with it. You should be very proud. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, is now part of Mar-a-Lago. Have you hung out with him? Have you seen him? What are your thoughts on it?
I have. We call him Sly. You can't call him Sly, but I can call him Sly. But we saw him. He's he was probably our greatest boxer. Okay, and I love great sports, and he is really one of the great champions we've ever had in sport, and also does movies. By the way, he did Rambo. He did other movies, other such movies, but he did Rambo. He did many Rambos, by the way.
He's not a
Uh,
real boxer.
excuse me. Okay, excuse me. He is a great champion, a great actor, and a great patriot. And it was great to have him at Mar-a-Lago and great to have him as a member. So we're very happy.
You know, Rocky is a fictional character from Philadelphia, a boxing movie. He's not really a boxer.
You see the muscles on that guy?
No, he's a big guy, but he's not really a boxer.
Well, let me tell you, if he punched tech stuff right in the face, he'd seem like a boxer to you. Uh, the only reason his application was held up is that he used to be married to Brigitte Nielsen.
That's right.
And, we had to ask him, what did you do when you found out she was having sex with the African American rap insect known as Flavor Flav? And Stallone said, he burned everything uh, that he owned that was connected to her, and he made a very strong donation to Idaho Militia Christian,
That's
and
good.
you know, joined the Republican Party. So I said, okay, you've done enough. That's because you've got to be concerned when you lose. If you lose your very powerful white wife to an African American rap insect, that's I don't. Some of our members might question you. So he proved that over $1 million, over $1 million to Idaho militia Christians. So Bible Tech State College, of course, the full name. We have to say that. Um,
That's amazing.
so it was nice. It was nice to see that Sly, you know, knew that there was a mistake there.
Well, it's a very powerful member that you have, and
Well, thank you. That's what melatonin says.
I was just, I meant like member of Mar-a-Lago as a celebrity,
Well,
like a
it's
big celebrity
my member
endorsement.
has its own membership, so it's
Okay, that's a lot of information there, but now the proud moment. Okay, I see you're basking.
you can call me a proud boy.
if you, you should get the YouTube link for this one, people. Very proud, extremely proud. Check out the Patreon, everyone. Patreon.com/mpga. We have a big month coming up. We have our first Perfect 10 Q&A with our new president, President Rudley, on April 22nd. So put that on the calendars. April 22nd is the
8
live
p.m.
Q&A,
Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, for the live Q&A show. And we have a very special guest on the 26th. We
By the
have...
way, we will not. There was very weak complaining, as you know.
Mhm.
Certain people, both on social media and in the presidential election, claimed that they weren't informed and they don't know when it, and it's we will look very harshly upon those that do not show up.
That's right, people. Come to this one on the 22nd. We are going to test Rudley and make sure he is a good standing president. Plus, our Vice President Tom Fitzgerald will be there. On April 26th, we have special guest Scaramucci is going to be a guest on the show. No?
Well, he is, but he's going to talk about his Bitcoin, and
That's
he's
right. We're
going
going to
to
learn about cryptocurrency. I'm very excited to make some
the Bloods and the
investments.
Cryptos. Put it down as the title already.
So check out patreon.com/mpga. And then also, we want to make new shirts. We got to sell these shirts out, people. They're half off right now in the store, mpgapod.com. Buy a shirt. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can watch all the episodes on YouTube. There's also special clips. You can spend hours checking out the YouTube channel. It's completely free. Just subscribe and also leave a late rating and review, people. Okay, we know how many people listen to this show.
We did get some more. We got some more. Finally, we're over 1,500. Our original goal was 3K. It has a powerful emotional significance to me. But maybe 2K. We should get to 2K, like
Yeah, let's get to
all the
2K at
video
least.
games that the African Americans play.
Perfect. So everyone, patreon.com/mpga, mpgapod.com, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Big things coming up, people. Now back to Mar-a-Lago, Mr. President. You made a speech at Mar-a-Lago recently.
A great speech.
Now, not the speech where you crashed someone's wedding. We're talking about another speech, right?
Well, I give a lot of great speeches, but no, I know the one you're talking about.
Now, a lot of Republicans are not very happy with your speech. They're starting to turn on you a little bit.
But the
Um,
Senate, Republican Senate, gave me a special award today.
what award did you
So
get?
it was some, I don't even remember what it's called, but it was a
Very
special
important.
award. Rick Scott, he handed me a cup and I smiled and we said, okay, there it is. So obviously they're choosing me over Mitch. Mitch is a dumb piece of shit. His
Wow.
time is over. My time is still here. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, you did insult him and his wife. You called Mitch McConnell a stone cold loser. Um, and you didn't think that you were properly thanked for putting his wife in your cabinet. Also, you said you're not happy with Mike Pence. Um, it is really hard to keep you happy if you are in your life, Mr. President.
Let me tell you, most importantly, the award I won
Yes.
was the National Republican Senatorial Committee champion, okay? That means the best. Champion for Freedom Award. So I got that. I don't think they're too sad about me calling Mitch a stone cold loser with a disgusting, ugly Asian wife, though we respect the Asian community.
Why do you have to take a shot at his wife and at her looks? Why don't you say she's not talented? Why don't you say she is bad
She
at her
is
job?
not
Why?
talented in the looks department.
Just these
On a
personal
on a
attacks.
scale of 1 to 10, I give her a 2, and that's too bad because usually her people are good at math. And I say that with respect for the Asian community. I don't respect everybody in the community, but as a whole, I respect the community very strongly.
I see that very strongly. Now, you said you weren't happy with Mike Pence either. Are you happy that Mike Pence got a book deal, two book deals actually, worth seven figures? These book deals. What are your thoughts on them? What do you think the books are going to be about? Is it going to be one politics, one religion? What are your thoughts?
Tech stuff, that's a point for you. That's actually a good point. So you're now a negative 14 for the episode.
Okay.
No, I think one will be about his, oh, my journey to be a Christian, and mother and I have sex with a bed sheet, and I think of strong men when I plow her like an Indiana field, and the Lord and the Lord. So one will be a very boring religious sort of book. It'll probably have some like accidental gay title, like Jesus is up inside me or something. So that'll be disgusting. And the other book will probably be about politics in case he thinks he's running in 2024. And he'll praise me because, he wants to make up for the disgraceful performance that he had on January 6th. But we're not forgiving him. He's a total disgrace. And I do think, we have a joke around Mar-a-Lago with his book deal. They asked Mike Pence, would you like one book? And he said, no, I prefer the deuce. So they gave him a 2 book deal.
No. Are you really angry with him, or is this just fun and games? The man did serve under you loyally for 4 years.
He served loyally until the very last moment when we needed him most. And imagine, now I'm not comparing him to Jesus Christ because in this scenario, I'm more like the Jesus Christ. But imagine if Jesus was on the cross, dying for the sins of mankind. So I've been told. And all of a sudden, at the last minute, he said, sir, he'd call me sir, sir, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And then he left. You'd be very mad, even if he had done many good things. And that's where I was with Pence. I was like, Pence, you were either supposed to overturn the election or let my supporters hang you and murder mother. And you did neither.
If he asked you to write the, what is it, the prologue or the forward, would you write it for him?
Thank you for saying forward because it's called a prologue way, and I don't like that They always do the prologue way and epilogue way, and I'm like, why do all these books have the Mexican names?
That one tickled me too. I don't know why prologue.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you do strong cameos and you come up with great lines for the fans.
Would you write it for him?
I would write the forward and it would say, "Don't buy this book." And Pence would look at me and go, "Sir, thank you, sir, for saying that, sir." And I'd be like, "Never change, Mike. You're a pathetic piece of shit."
Also in the news, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Biden is on pace. People were on you about the refugees, people coming into this country, leaving children at the border, putting children in cages. And now it has come out that Biden is on pace to allow fewer refugees into this country than you did. Are you upset about that? Are you happy about that? Are you impressed about that? What are your thoughts on that?
Shouldn't Matt Gaetz be in charge of kids in cages?
I thought you didn't know who Matt Gaetz was.
Oh,
The person you just said.
what did I say?
You said Matt Gaetz.
No, 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 no. I said Mad Gates. Like we're talking hip hop. I talk in the hip hop language sometimes. I was saying they should have Mad Gates
Oh,
for the
okay.
kids in cages. Because gates are a little more humane than cages.
Yeah, I guess so.
And also because Matt Gaetz, likes kids.
You just said it again.
No,
You did. You just said Matt Gaetz again.
you are obviously mishearing. I said when you have a Mad Libs, you can put kids in cages into the empty lines and
No,
come up with a funny story.
you said Mag Gates because you're like I'm hip hop, and you're like Mag
Well, that
Gates
that
are
you're,
better than
you're
cages,
well, yes,
right? They're more
you're going to
safer.
this.
And then you
Excuse me,
said,
excuse me, excuse me. Yes, you're going to the sentence before. Very good. Okay, we're not talking about that sentence anymore. Let's continue with the terrible story that you picked out, tech stuff. Sleepy Joe Biden is being sleepy. Is that the story?
no, he's allowing he's allowing
Okay,
fewer
this is a
refugees.
disgrace. I just got an update from the China app known as TikTok.
Yes.
It says Michelle Obama is live on TikTok. Okay, well, Melatonin is live on OnlyFans. So let's see who goes to which site faster.
Mr. President, I was wondering this. How come you haven't tried yet to live stream under maybe Ivanka's page or
Oh, I've
um
live streamed under Ivanka many times.
I what do you mean by that?
Well, what I'm just agreeing with you. What do you? Why are you like doing a gotcha? Is this like
No,
a
no, no.
gotcha
You
thing?
said you live stream under her. Why would you live stream under her? You would live stream with her if you're gonna like say hello to people. Why are you under
You
her?
just said under her page. You said under her page.
But
You
you said
said
under
that.
her. I thought you didn't say page. You just said under her
Why do I have to say page?
because under her and under her page are two different things.
Well, underneath your clothes, by Shakira.
Okay, you win. So, but you haven't tried to
It's a
like when.
terrible song, by the way. It's a terrible song, but it's a
Not a huge
Shakira
fan of
song.
her. Um,
No.
yeah, it's a very whiny voice. Um,
Yeah, well, hips don't lie.
she's got a good body. I didn't say that. I just am not into
I
her
like that
voice.
hip.
Or
I like that hips don't lie song.
it's catchy, but her voice, yeah,
Eps,
oh, yeah,
Epstein could get all the ninth graders twerking to that one. Or what they didn't call it twerking at the time, but boy,
booty shaking.
you'd thought he had just brought in a carton of Girl Scout cookies. They got so excited.
We had some deaths this week, and I want to know your thoughts on two of them. First, across the seas, Prince Philip. Your thoughts?
I uh, I have all the respect in the world for the non-African American members of the royal family.
Did you have any dealings with him?
Uh, I met him, and he was very respectful. I had more interactions with his wife, but I think they were, I thought he was, to be honest, I thought he was a respectful guy, a sort of interesting person with a great history. I didn't like the fact that he was so subservient to his wife because of the customs. Believe me, if I married a queen, you know what they'd call me?
What would they call you?
They'd call me king. They wouldn't be calling me prince. I'm not a black from Minnesota.
They would, if you were in the royal family, you wouldn't be able to make up your name. They would tell you what you're called.
You know what? You'd be surprised.
How do you think his teeth, you met him, how are his teeth compared? Because English people have a bad reputation for horrible teeth. How do you consider his teeth were compared to the reputation the British receive?
I never really looked at his teeth because I was so fascinated by his 400-year-old skin.
It's reptile skin.
So I would just sort of focus on the skin.
No teeth. I got
No
you.
teeth.
Did you have tea when you were there? Are you a tea drinker?
I'm a TNA drinker.
I understand that, but I'm saying like tea, the liquid tea, like British tea time.
Oh, I thought like testosterone.
No, not testosterone. You're like in a teacup You know, like last week, Bradley Whitford showed us the teacup. What goes in there? The liquid that goes in a teacup is tea.
Oh no, I told them I'll take a C, a Diet Coke.
Are you still drinking the Diet Cokes?
And by Diet Coke, I meant Diet RC Cola.
Okay. Have you bought RC Cola yet? Or still talking to them?
I have not had a drink of RC Cola yet.
So you're still drinking Diet Coke, just not telling people about it.
No, that's totally incorrect.
Okay. So Diet Pepsi?
It's disgusting now.
Okay. I feel like I'm dizzy right now. I don't even know. So Prince Philip, this next person who passed away was a huge part of my childhood, especially sports growing up. Always he would be on.
Are you, excuse me, are you that young that it was, wait, who are we talking about?
We're not talking about Prince Philip on a mixtape. We're talking about DMX, Dark Man X.
I don't know about childhood. I don't know, you know, you were probably not a child anymore.
No, when I was a teenager growing up, that was DMX. I listened to him all the time. That was one of.
Well, in the Trump family, when you turn 13 and have sex with your first escort, you're a man. We call that a Trump mitzvah.
So, are you saying you never listened?
I'm just saying, I think you would have said, I would have said you were a young man when DMX was out. But okay, you want to call yourself a kid.
No, I mean when you're a teenager, you're not a kid when you're a teenager.
If you, well, to be honest, I guess you're right. If you were African American, you would be a big menacing threat. But I guess as a white person, you
God,
were a kid.
that's not a racist comment.
How is that racist?
You just labeled every
It's
black person
incredible
who
that
is young as.
the kitchen staff is, even though we had to do this in a different section of Mar-a-Lago, the kitchen staff is still making very loud beeps. Consuela, can you please tone it down or maybe close this? Thank you. We can call. Thank you. Okay.
How you said how is not that
We'll
not
call it as
racist?
soon as this is over. We are calling ICE, and Consuela is
He's
going back
gone.
to the Nicaraguan part of Mexico.
Mr. President, you just said that I said a kid, and you said you're right. You are white. If you were black, you would be a menacing youth. Is that what you said? You said menacing something.
Oh no, not youth. No, you'd be a menacing, threatening presence.
How is that not a racist comment by you saying that every young black person is a menace and a threat to society?
Excuse me. Well, you just said it. They had an entire movie called Menace to Society,
It's
and
a movie.
that was done by the way by African American filmmakers.
So
They said it. I'm just repeating what they said.
I
And
don't think
you just repeated it without even realizing. You were like,
you.
you're saying they're a menace to society, and I go, no, the movie did.
No, that's a title for a movie, but you just insinuated that every young black person is a threat.
Did you see New Jack City?
These are movies, Mr. President.
How about Boys in the Hood?
Another movie.
But very realistic.
Are you going to say Juice next? It's a movie.
Well, no, that's called Schindler's List.
Juice? No. Radio Raheem?
Please tell me that you get the Juice Schindler's List joke.
I'm not getting it.
Mispronounce the word juice a little bit.
Okay, I got you. Um, I'm sorry. I'm so thinking of the characters, and I'm so in really the movie Juice where I couldn't even. Yeah, that's my fault, Mr. President. But DMX, he passed away. Did you ever collaborate with him? You ever meet with him?
He endorsed me
DMX endorsed you for real?
secretly.
Just to you?
You know, he said that he appreciated what all the great work I was doing with Ice Cube and Kanye and Lil Wayne. And he said, you know, and you know, when I asked him if he liked the platinum plan, he said,
So when you conversed with him, he doesn't talk and he just kind of gives the from every song that he does.
Yep,
That must be an interesting conversation.
it was fun. It was interesting. You know, there's everybody sort of thinks that, oh, there's one language, but there's many dialects among African Americans.
So when you asked him and you're like, "Did you vote for me?" What did he say? Just okay. And when you asked him, like, "Do you think I did a good job as president?" What did he say about that?
Uh-huh.
There you go. So I feel like when he goes the higher pitch, that's like a definite yes, and the growl is like a I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Well, I had my Rough Riders interpreter with me.
Did you ask him about what did he say about Pence?
Well, DMX was a very prayerful man, and when you let me tell you something, they bonded over prayer. To be
Oh,
honest,
really?
well, until Mike Pence sort of took it to a different place that DMX was not comfortable with.
What did DMX do?
Well, Pence said, "Sir, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up," and DMX said, "Get off your knees." And then they didn't seem to want to talk to each other after that. So rest in power, DMX. You resisted the truck stop temptations of Pence. DMX actually had an album that he was working on called Truck Stop Temptations, dedicated to his feud with big gay Mike Pence.
It was supposed to be a whole diss album.
A whole diss album. And
Mr.
I remember he was telling me one of the lyrics. I had to get my dogs to get you off my hog. Uh, uh.
I love your DMX impression, Mr. President.
I'm a very talented impersonator, but I don't have all of them. I can admit that. But that
Uh,
Shinzo is on point.
well, Mr. President, we have it's not the first episode of the month. We did have a great guest last week, so we skipped a week and we're doing questions. And this week and last month, the questions were open to only Facebook people, but next month it's going to be open to all social media. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram can have their questions come in. Um, so there's a few solid questions in here. I'm just going to start with the first one. This comes from Richard Scance or Scanse. And it says, Sir, Mr. President, sir, how do you feel about Don Jr. finally getting his first paying job on his own, making cameo videos? And is he contributing any of his earnings from what that gig did to your war chest or blowing it all on his wife's fun dip? So what are your thoughts on his cameo? And solid question from Richard. Thank you, Dick. And it might be like being called Dick, but Richard. Okay. What are your thoughts on that question?
Well, I actually could have Don Jr. answer it if people want that.
He's with you.
He's here. I keep him chained to the desk.
Sure, Don Jr. I'd love to hear about your cameo business, please.
Hey, so tech stuff guy, we're doing unbelievably well on Cameo. It's like the radical left, like they were like so scared of me getting on Cameo because they were like, you're too dynamic and too talented. So I basically, I send strong, motivational, patriotic messages to a lot of people. A lot of people like them. They're doing really well, and when I come home, it's just like school. It's like school with my dad because he beats me up and takes my money. He makes me Venmo him. It's kind of like 21st century bullying. And he says, "Give me your money, and I'll be done with Kimberly in 20 minutes." And so it's just good fun times with Dad at Mar-a-Lago.
Don Jr., before you go, I'd love for you. Is your nose okay? Allergy season?
Yeah, well, the pharmacy was out of Claritin, so the allergies are really kicking up.
I understand. Can you give our listeners a sample of what a cameo would be? Maybe for myself, for Tech Stuff Guy, if it was like my birthday, what would be a sample cameo? Just so it's a free promotion here, free plug.
Hey, so tech stuff guy, it's your birthday, and from what I hear from my dad, you're like totally radical left. So I actually don't want you to have that happy a birthday. But your friend wrote to me, so obviously you have friends that have like good taste. Your friends have good taste, and they wanted me to reach out to you on behalf of my dad and all MAGA patriots who love the country. And on behalf of your friends, I hope you have a happy birthday. But knowing that you're radical left and not too respectful of my dad, it's like disgusting what you do on the show sometimes. I don't wish you a happy birthday, but you, for your friends, want you to have a happy birthday, and they paid me. So yeah, go have a birthday. And as my dad says, we'll see what happens.
Don Jr., thank you so much. That was a very powerful cameo, and I think you should be
Thanks for
getting a
letting me
lot of
be on the show,
orders.
Dad. It's so fun, so fun. You didn't have Ivanka on, so I beat her. I finally beat her in something.
Uh,
Get that? Excuse me, tech stuff. It's
yes,
his
of
father.
course.
You know, I respect you as a
Mm-hmm.
father, sort of.
Yes.
You know, a little,
Okay.
not really, but a little bit. Get the hell out of here, Don Jr. Okay, and I'm gonna take another go at Kimberly tonight, just for that. You know, too long an answer.
Mr. President, we have a few more questions left here. Um, this one comes from Carter Ubelower. I'm sorry, it's a crazy last name. Um, Dr. Mr. President, Sir Esquire the Great, with graduation season approaching, will you be speaking at any commencements and or be adding to your honorary degree similar to those you received from Idaho Militia Christian?
Now that's another great question. You know, this is what you see. The reason we're trying to expand into Facebook is because I think you get sort of a longer, more powerful question from the Facebook people. Uh, and by the way, if you want your questions read next month, you can go on the other platforms. But we're going to see, you know, we get less interaction on Facebook, so we'll see longer questions there. But anyway, that's for next month. I have been invited to speak at 3 colleges so far, which is great. First time in history, I've been asked to come back and do a back-to-back commencement at Idaho Christian Militia Bible State Tech College, dentistry school. So we're going to do the
Nice,
graduate school,
congrats.
the dentistry. Yeah. Well, it's easy when your patients, you know, only have 4 teeth. It's actually sort of a quick program through. So it's we're excited for that. I've also been asked to speak at Oklahoma, a faith-based anti-abortion technical college, 2-year college. It's a 2-year. It's an associate's.
Okay.
They offer 2 degrees. Uh, one of them is in
Okay.
Like a Q studies program, and the other is in abortion protesting. So it's a very strong, and it's only a 2-year program. We've got to support our great 2-year colleges as well. So I'll be speaking there, and then after that is, you know, the big one where I'll be speaking at Alabama Community State College, Light of Jesus Technical. Tech, they call it tech.
I got you.
But and that's a very important place for me to speak.
So
And
big speeches coming up. That's awesome.
great schools, and they, you know, they had to, they actually had to cancel some sports programs at the Alabama school to pay my $500,000 speaking fee.
Wow, that's very steep speaking.
Strong commitment. You know, they just said, I guess we don't need those 5 sports teams and that history department and those 9 professors. We have to let you go because Donald J. Trump is speaking.
Well, sometimes you have to get rid of things to get the best.
It's a good lesson, I think,
Very, very good.
for that school.
Mr. President, we have 2 more questions here. This comes from Alex Gesh. I think that's a perfect 10 right here, Alex.
He's a strong. Was he the one? Did
He did run for president. He was very organized.
He was like our Pete Buttigieg, like a very like thoughtful ideas guy. Well, we got to find out if Rudley is sort of incorporating his ideas. You know, if
He's
he's,
very organized. Could be a future producer. Very
well, we want to
organized.
know if Rudley is taking the presidential advice. You
I
know,
hope so. Um, Doctor, Mr. President, sir, Esquire, Beachbody season is coming up. We've seen your workout routines and
the
Diet
Pence
Coke.
people like, yeah, people like the Pence prayer squats from the. Everybody should go check out the Trump workout videos. A very powerful workout for the for the COVID. You know, as an
Yes,
at home workout.
of course. And your Diet Coke shakes. Are there any other fitness tips to look our best this summer?
Yes,
Please share.
and it was. I once heard a comedian. His name was Ryan Stout. I think he's like a radical left wing comedian out in California, but a talented guy, young comedian, not so young anymore. He had a joke called the sexual assault diet. And I remember hearing that joke and I thought that's not a bad idea. So, you know, if you think about the energy that can be expended during a playful, even if it's, you could call it role play,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the other person doesn't know it's a role play,
Okay.
but you'll get a real good resistance and cardio training from that. That's a good calorie burn. I would also say if you've put on COVID pounds, um, you know, refuse the Biden stimulus money. You know, starving can be also good for the abdominal, for the good like lean look.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but obviously, you want to do the Trump workout. You want to don't do anything illegal. Okay,
Right.
you know, test the boundaries with if you're into men, that's even you're going to get an even harder workout if you try to force yourself on some men.
Okay.
Uh, so, I think that's a good quick way to get fit. And so, starvation, unwanted sexual advances, and walk for 20 minutes.
Okay. Definitely. That sounds great. So walk for 20 minutes, everyone.
Well, that's
Right, of course,
and
on top of the
the
sexual
other tips.
assaulting. Um,
Nobody said that. No, that's
okay.
no. They're not, you see, you're taking the words and sort of rearranging them.
I'm just taking them and kind of defining them. Are you doing your rock again?
I am the people's champion.
A last question here. Sir, do you have any strong and powerful advice for Matt Gaetz?
Who is that?
Perfect. Mr. President, thank you so much for joining us once again. And to all listeners out there, really appreciate it. Check out betonline.ag for any sports bets. Patreon.com/MPGA, MPGApod.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have coming up on April 22nd. That is our Perfect 10 Q&A with our new president, Rudley, and our vice president, Tom Fitzgerald. You do not want to miss that. It's 8 p.m. Eastern on April 22nd. 26th, we got Scaramucci coming in. And anyone who is in the New York area, Astoria, Queens, this Saturday, we are doing stand-up comedy outside at the Bel Air Diner. Awesome lineup of Monroe Martin, Jordan Carlos, Sarah Talamash, Ian Finance. $5 tickets.
Well,
7
hey,
p.m.
those are two. So those are two guests. That's Obama and Brian Taylor Richardson
That's
and
right.
the tech stuff guy on
That
the
is
show.
true. So you have
Good
Brian Taylor Richardson on the show.
way to market it properly to the audience.
Well,
Tech stuff.
that's why I have you here, Mr. President. Just help me out along the way. I really appreciate it. So, yes, two former guests we have on the show, plus myself. It's gonna be a rocking show. $5. BelAirDiner.nyc to get your tickets. Come on out. All social distance outside. Enjoy some live entertainment. Mr. President, any parting words for our listeners?
Yes. well, this week also for all Patreons, whatever level, whether you're like sort of a perfect 10 or barely supporting us, cuck, you get the bonus tax day episode. We know that Sleepy Joe moved tax day to May 17th for all the African Americans paying late. But normally it's April 15th, so we'll discuss great tax traditions, and it should be very fun. So every Patreon person, so if you're not a Patreon person and you want to sample the bonus episodes, just join at the $5 level. Hey guys, it's JL. How are you? It was me the whole time. Just a couple of big announcements. Live dates are now being added to my calendar at jlcomedy.com. So in the next, I'm hoping to add many more, but right now I've got Magnolia, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, Arlington, Virginia, and Rockville, Maryland, and then Hartford in June. So please bookmark my calendar, sign up for my newsletter at my website so that you're not at the whim of social media algorithms. And last but not least, please go check out my other podcast, Righteous PK, which is on Spotify and Apple. And that's it. So thank you for listening. We appreciate it. We're excited to have Scaramucci on in 2 weeks. Promises, as Mike Pence would say regarding Donald Trump, promises kept, promises made, promises kept. We promised to deliver. You guys have been loyal and great for us, and we're happy that you've been sticking with us past Trump's presidency. So we're going to keep trying to line up like A-list guests that will reward you properly for your loyalty and strong support. So we thank you. We hope you're still enjoying the show. Tell a friend, and God help us all.